Okay, Greta's sister. Yay! Greta's sister is visiting from England. Okay, we're not going to do it like that.
Are we going to do it with an accent?
I don't think she might have a Lithuanian accent. After all, she is from Lithuania originally.
Sounds better with an accent.
Every Hanukkah has a little bit different size of candle, so we have to try to get them to stay in there as best we can. Come on. It's not that they're too small, not that they're too big.
You mean you didn't bring the candles?
Usually you have kind of a universal candle.
Yeah, Alex. Universal candle.
They were government standardized 2 years ago, so the candle supplies are still getting worked into the system.
You got the wrong Hanukkah.
Huh?
You got the wrong Hanukkah.
No, it's the wrong candles.
Oh.
All right. So you're going to light this one, and then you're going to light all those.
You can do it.
You're out of gas.
There's different ways. Our Shamas candle is up here. It's just separated. This one has one that's raised up, so it's higher.
Made in China.
I bet they're all made in China, unfortunately.
Yeah, the American-made ones are about 10 times the cost. Just don't let it.
I thought your sister was going to do it.
She's doing the last two.
They're sharing. They're sharing.
Like one big happy family.
I'm guessing this is your first Hanukkah?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. That's what it is. Woo! Whoa. That's okay. We'll figure it out. We will get it to stand in there straight. Don't worry. I said straight. Straighten up. This is an insubordinate candle.
Article 15. Article 15.
Yeah,
Make sure it leads right.
Anyway, if you're a kid, if you're a child, if you have never been bar mitzvahed, come this way and sit on the floor over here. We're going to do a story for you. The story of the Latke that couldn't stop screaming. So let's get our children gathered for the story, because have a seat right here. Just, you guys sit on the floor at home. Have a seat right here. Just have a seat. Because I want you guys to really enjoy the story. Wait, they're multiplying. It's like they're, what are those gremlins? They just keep multiplying.
Read it at night.
But before I can do the story, before I can read the story, I have to put my Hanukkah hat on. This is my Hanukkah hat. Light up the world. I think it's beautiful. It does look like a crown, doesn't it? So this is our tradition of reading a story. This is a lemony snicket. It's called the Latke Who Couldn't Stop Screaming. Okay?
I've heard this.
You heard this, you're going to hear it again. Some of you haven't heard it, but we're going to do it, okay? So anyway, this is the Latke Who Couldn't Stop Screaming, a Christmas
I
story.
think I've heard it once.
You heard it once?
I don't know.
A Christmas story.
Is it like once a year?
Yeah, we do this once a year.
Okay, I heard it 4 times.
All right, here we go. You ready?
It's still 4. Yes.
Okay, here we go. This story ends in someone's mouth, but it begins in a tiny village, more or less covered in snow. The snow had fallen during the long night, during which the children had pressed their little faces up to the windows, looking for a glimpse of a man who they suspected of bringing them wonderful gifts. But instead, they heard a terrible noise from a certain cottage in the neighboring arrondissement, a word which here means a place where something was being born. This cottage was already regarded with some suspicion, as it was the only place not decorated with flashing colored lights at this time of year. The thing that was being born was a latke, a word which here means potato pancake.
What?
Latkes are a traditional part of the celebration of Hanukkah, a holiday commemorating a miraculous Jewish military victory. Nearly everything in this world is born screaming, and the latke was no exception. Even though the latke wasn't conceived and born the way you and I were conceived and born, but instead was fashioned from grated potatoes, chopped onions, beaten eggs, and a dash or two of salt. And once these ingredients were properly mixed, the latke was slapped into a pan full of olive oil, heated to a very high temperature. And this is when it began to scream.
Like a baby.
I got them all.
Like a baby. Screaming like a baby.
That's what it says, you see? What does that say?
Screaming like a baby.
No, it says it much louder than that. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. And then you know what it says on the next page? All right.
It's like a baby.
It is. Now, the latke was suffering so much that it leaped out of the hot pan and out the window of the cottage and began to run screaming down the boulevard. And what did he say? They'll all be hoarse at the end of the story.
Is that the end?
No. Now, this might seem like... You gotta hear, this might seem like unusual behavior for a potato pancake. I mean, we see them running down the street all the time, don't we?
Yes.
But this is a Christmas story in which things tend to happen that would never occur in real life. The latke ran past a row of flashing colored lights, which hung from the rain gutters of a less suspicious cottage. "What's all the ruckus?" said the lights in unison. "We're the ones who are supposed to be dominating the neighborhood with our cheerful glow." "I was just thrown into a pan of boiling oil," the latke cried in reply. "Can you believe it?" "Yes," said the flashing colored lights, "but we can't imagine why." "Because I'm a latke," said the latke. "The olive oil reminds us of the oil that was used to rededicate the temple following the defeat of Antiochus at the hands of the Maccabees. The oil was only supposed to last for one night, but there was a miracle, and it lasted for 8. Plus, frying makes my skin brown and crispy."
I don't like that.
"So you're basically hash browns," said the flashing colored lights. "Maybe you could be served alongside a Christmas ham." "I am not hash browns," cried the latke. "I am something completely different." One more time. The latke rounded the corner and found itself face to face with a candy cane, which wrinkled its red and white nose at the latke in distaste. "I am trying to sprinkle the night air with my peppermint scent," said the candy cane. "Your mouth-watering smell, not to mention all that yelping, is spoiling the effect." "My mouth-watering smell is part of the cozy feeling of Hanukkah," the latke replied. "It reminds us that things are better now than they were in 175 BCE, before Common Era. We used to just say BC, before Christ. When my people were not allowed to practice their religion. In order to study the Torah, they had to hide out in caves. And when they heard Greek soldiers approach, they pretended that they were gambling with small spinning tops called dreidels. Sort of like Joseph and Mary hiding out in the manger, said the candy cane. Someone should write a Christmas carol about you. I am not part of Christmas, cried the latke. It's a totally different thing. latke grew quieter and quieter as the pancake was losing its voice. No, as the pancake ran out into the village, into the surrounding forest. Its utter fury was unabated, a phrase which here means the latke was still very annoyed at the object to whom it had spoken. But it was tired, and so it decided to rest for a few minutes beneath the branches of a little pine tree. The pine tree was napping, but woke up at the sound of an object plopping down at its feet. "Are you a present?" the pine tree asked. "Presents are pretty much the only thing allowed to sit beneath me this time of year."
Southern pine.
It's a southern pine. Gotcha.
Hi, Mr. Pine Tree.
The latke sighed. Presents aren't really a big part of Hanukkah. It said in a voice hoarse from screaming. There's nothing wrong with giving gifts to loved ones, of course, but it's more important to light the candles for 8 consecutive nights to commemorate the miracle in the temple and the miracle of victory. Even when you are thoroughly outnumbered, you should never give up hope. "Plus Santa Claus," said the tree. The latke was too exhausted to scream. "Santa Claus has nothing to do with it," the latke said. "Christmas and Hanukkah are completely different things." "But different things can often blend together," said the pine tree. "Let me tell you a funny story about pagan rituals."
Story of the story.
But before the pine tree could begin his story, a family came trooping through the snow, searching the forest carefully. "We shouldn't have waited until the last minute to get one for the holiday," said the father of the family, who was holding an axe. "We'll never find a good one." "You shouldn't give up hope," said the mother, and pointed at the pine tree. "Look, it's perfect," said the daughter. "Beautiful," agreed the son. "Such a marvelous shape," said the mother. "And its skin looks so crispy," said the father, and reached down and scooped up the latke from the snow. We often go through the forest to look for latkes.
Totally.
We'll need to reheat it, of course, but this will be perfect for our Hanukkah dinner. Topped with a little applesauce or sour cream or maybe even jam. "I'll refry it in oil," said the mother, "to remind us of the rededication of the temple. And the triumph of the Maccabees over Antiochus," added the daughter. "After hiding in caves all that time," the son chimed in. The father smiled, looked down at the latke in his mitten, and then stared curiously at his other hand. "What was I thinking, bringing an axe?" he said to himself. The family strolled back to the village, walking past all the cottages with flashing colored lights and smiling politely at the candy canes until they reached their own home. The family carried the latke into their own home, which was warm and cozy, and sat down at the table, which was lit with flickering candles of the Hanukkah, which is a branched candelabra specifically designed for Hanukkah. It's very frustrating not to be understood in this world. If you say one thing and keep being told that you mean something else, it can make you want to scream. But somewhere in the world, there's a place for all of us. Whether you're an electric form of decoration, peppermint-scented sweet, a source of timber, or a potato latke. On a cold, snowy night, everyone and everything should be welcomed somewhere. And the latke was welcomed into the home full of people who understood what a latke is and how it fits into this particular holiday. And then they ate him. And they said, the end. No, for some reason it didn't scream the second time. I don't know what to tell you. It's weird. It was better because the father had an axe and he knew it was over either way.
That was a serious unfortunate.
So I hope you enjoyed our yearly reading of the Latke Who Couldn't Stop Screaming, A Christmas Story. And I want to tell you something. because we let me get to the place where I need to be. It's really weird because we've got so much going on. We're gonna do Animami as we always do, and then we're gonna do the benediction as we always do, and then I have something special for everybody. So let's do this.
Can we sing it here?
You're actually singing. We continue to pray for the salvation of the Jewish people, for peace in Jerusalem, and for Yeshua to rapture us and get us all out of here. I got a feeling that the hostage is going to be released on 19th of January. Just saying. Can you stay here forever? No. I know, everyone's supposed to be like, Rabbi, be nice to little kids. No. I was happy when my kids left. I was happy to have my wife all to myself again because I am spoiled, rotten little Jew boy. And I'm not afraid who knows it.
Dana named him.
That was the name Dana gave me, spoiled, rotten little Jew boy. And I'm happy to have it. So, just so you know, we do have presents for everybody. Do kids like presents? Miss Harder, would you come here, please? Come here. Well, at least come there. Okay, I want all you kids, I want you to stand up and get in front of one line in front of Miss Harder. And she's going to hand you a backpack as a present. We have backpacks for all of you.
You get a new backpack.
That's to put the money in when you rob the store.
No!
I get a cut.
Just so you know, this is why Dana's not an elder here. One of many, but one of them.
Hey, our budget's doing great.
All right. Can you reach under there? No. Just so, I'm just going to let you know what else we have. I'll get it. I'll get it. I'm sorry. So, for men in here, we have a beautiful, big, thick tape measure. For all you wonderful ladies in here, we have a beautiful glass nail file. It's glass. Don't break it because it's actual glass. I know it's heavy. And we also, if you don't want a nail file or a tape measure, we do have some decks of playing cards with the Mishkan logo on them because, you know, it's all about the logo. And we do have lots of chocolate coins. This is real Belgian chocolate, by the way, so you don't want to miss that. So if you want a backpack, look, I don't want to be rushed like I mean, y'all have to act like you got some sense. But you guys can come up and take a gift after services, okay? I'm going to take this off so we can do the benediction. But we want to make sure that everybody has a good time and that you stick around. We've got lots of donuts over there. I think there's still some cream puffs left. We've got a lot of stuff. Where's my shofar player? I can, yeah. Wrong remote. I'm getting ready to turn on the TV.
You turned it on or something. No, it's on.
It's on. It's just on a blank screen. All right, we're gonna do the benediction. You can stand for the benediction, please. If you feel comfortable, take the hand of the person next to you. And remember, don't leave. There's presents, there's donuts, there's all kinds of stuff, and there's still food upstairs if you hadn't gotten enough to eat, okay? God told Moses to tell Aaron, here's how you bless the children. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you. The Lord lift up his countenance on you and be gracious unto you. And the Lord give you peace. Shalom, Latke Shalom. Amen. Amen. Guys, don't forget, we'll be here Tuesday night, and next week is our 10th anniversary party, and we'll have more presents. Bye, Facebook. We'll see you Tuesday night for Bible study.